Liberty University was the center of the NFL universe on Tuesday. We react to Malik Willis's Pro Day performance.
Plus, we bring you the story of Lady Flames softball ace Emily Kirby and get you caught up on all things happening around Liberty athletics. It's a Loaded Flame Central, and it starts now.
I gotta be honest, I don't know if our viewers are ready for this week's show. It almost has too much. We got NFL draft, postseason hoops, ACC showdowns on the diamond, a national title. We have it all.
We sure do. Welcome to Flame Central. He's Matt, I'm Emily, and we have to start with one of the most high-profile events to ever take place on Liberty's campus. Malik Willis's Pro Day.
Yeah, the buzz around the former Liberty quarterback has reached a fever pitch. All NFL eyes were on Lynchburg, Virginia on Tuesday, and Willis would not disappoint, showcasing the skill set that helped propel Flames football to 18 wins over the past 2 years. Now, the QB, a projected first-round draft pick, and depending on who you listen to, could go inside the top 5 picks. Tuesday, a great day for Willis, a great day for Liberty University, and Emily has more on the biggest Pro Day in Flames history.
It was quite the showing for Malik Willis's Pro Day here at Liberty on Tuesday. All 32 NFL teams were represented, including Panthers head coach Matt Rule and Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin, as well as ESPN, NFL Network, both reporting live at the event. Flames athletic director Ian McCall called it a once-in-a-lifetime event for Liberty, and Malik Willis put on quite the show in his throwing session.
First of all, physically, it was really impressive. You know, watching the ball come out of his hands. And some of the routine throws were impressive, and some of the wow throws were even more impressive. You know, and you could tell from the reaction. I mean, these are like grizzled old football dudes here, and they reacted, especially to some of those deep balls. You know, the only thing you really want is to see exactly what you see on film, and I think it was a lot of that today. I thought he did great.
I would say the ball placement was more consistent here today. Clearly he's working on tightening his fundamentals and making sure the ball is placed where it should be. It wasn't every throw. He missed within the strike zone a handful of times, but every quarterback does in these things. So, but I was impressed with that. Clearly he was trying to show that adjusting the arm angle on throws and different movement off-platform throws I thought were really good. So, but nothing he can do physically surprises me.
We just wanted to really confirm what people saw on tape, how strong his arm was, and then we wanted to show some things that they might not have seen throughout the season. His ability to work through progressions, tie his feet through his eyes, and be able to make all the throws that you're required to make in the NFL.
I was really impressed, just the way he was able to layer the ball to all 3 levels of the field, and everybody knew that Malik had power behind his throws, but I was really impressed with how he was able to distribute and show touch on his throws. I think that was one of the biggest question marks that scouts had coming into the Pro Day, and I think he really answered that question today.
I think the way he came out showcased himself beautifully. It was a great exclamation point after a great Senior Bowl week and a great season. I think overall this would be taken as a huge win for him and in the eyes of the NFL evaluators here.
A successful Pro Day is just another reason why most people think Malik Willis is going to be an early first-round draft pick. However, with all of the movement in the NFL with quarterbacks and free agency, it will be interesting to see what team actually takes him in the NFL draft on April 28th.
He'll end up in the top 10 just because a team or two will get sweet on him. It happens every time we say there's no quarterbacks or you're going to overdraft a guy. Someone will really like something about him and what they do schematically that fits.
We all came into it thinking it was going to be kind of a down year, and now I'm not so sure about that. I still think a couple guys go in the top 10. Even with all the quarterback movement, and there was so much of it, there's still so many teams that don't have a long-term answer at quarterback, and a lot of them are here. Carolina Panthers, Washington Commanders, Atlanta Falcons were here, Pittsburgh Steelers were here. And, you know, I'm talking like either head coach or GM, like, you know, the top guys.
I even think the Detroit Lions, at number 2 overall, they had the opportunity to coach him at the Senior Bowl, so they got an up-close and opportunity with him throughout the week. Those 3 days of practices, I thought he played extremely well. So Detroit Lions at 2, I think he goes no later than the Panthers at 6.
I've kind of prepared myself that nothing's going to shock me. But Detroit at 2 seems rich. It seems high for a quarterback that, if it's Malik, that needs developing and needs time. They certainly have Jared Goff there, so that would give him an opportunity. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. There are so many really high-end football players at other positions. That's what makes it hard. But ultimately, if you believe in this guy and you think he can be your quarterback, it doesn't matter where you take him. No one's going to remember where you took him, 10 years from now.
Man, what an exciting day for Flames football. Well, while Malik Willis was the headliner, 15 other Flames also had the chance to impress the NFL scouts. A number of guys performed well, but the buzz around Pro Day was that Story Jackson and Kevin Shaw really improved their stock. Jackson, a linebacker who led Liberty in tackles a season ago, did 23 reps on the bench press and 32-inch vertical, while Shaw showed off the speed, clocking an unofficial 4.31 in the 40. He was also on the receiving end of the most talked about throw of the day from Willis. All in all, many of these other Flames put themselves in a position to get an opportunity now at the next level.
That's absolutely right. Successful day all around. You just heard all the hottest takes from those big-time names who physically were at Malik Willis's Pro Day. But who was saying what around social media? There's plenty to choose from on this edition of Hearsay with EA. So Malik Willis's workout consisted of about 70 throws, and this was the grand finale. Last time I checked, this video from NFL Network had more than 4 million views. What a catch, insane athleticism, and the celebration just on point. The articles on Malik's Pro Day just came flooding in afterwards. Check out Todd McShay's in-depth breakdown on ESPN, Eric Edholm's on Yahoo Sports. Also, the NFL Twitter account put out a poll about which QB should be taken first, Willis or Pickett. Hey, who said Malik can't vote? But of course, he's a class act, replying, "Don't matter, just know we working," tagging Pickett. Moving along, Malik didn't participate in any other testing drills at Pro Day, so he was asked in his press conference about why he didn't run the 40-yard dash. "I already know I'm fast. If that isn't a mic drop, I don't know what is." And finally, we had to dig into that photo album under the couch for this one. His personal QB coach, Sean McAvoy, brushing off the dust for this epic old school shot. Shout out Roswell, Georgia there. Oh, Matt, another one, Robert Griffin III, weighed in on an NFL Network show saying this Pro Day is big for Malik, but also mentioned how Liberty will benefit from this event for the next 10 years.
Yeah, I totally believe it. If you thought we were done talking about Malik, by the way, yeah, think again. On Wednesday, Willis was presented with the Bowden Award at Liberty's convocation. LU alum Sam Ponder, her husband and former NFL quarterback Christian Ponder, along with Terry and Tommy Bowden, were all a part of the ceremony. The award goes to the college football player that epitomizes a student-athlete of faith. Willis certainly did that. His humble attitude was commonplace no matter the amount of success he achieved here at Liberty, and it was on full display when presented with this award.
It's just more than an honor. I'm more than blessed to receive this, and I can't do anything but give the glory to God and the glory to my parents and Liberty University for having me.
So well-deserved. All right, to the hardwood for some postseason hoops. The Lady Flames met Vanderbilt for the second round of the WNIT, and let's just say it wasn't the friendliest of meetings. And unfortunately, LU would be the one on the wrong side of it. Emma Hess trying to do her part to help Liberty bounce back from a slow start. She drains the triple here, but Liberty trails early, 12-7. Vandy shot 53% in this game from three-point range. Second quarter, Bella LaChance, part of the reason for that stat. To the final frame, LU down big, but Bridget Redstadt, still playing hard, gets the putback here. Redstadt finished with 13 and 10 in her final game as a Lady Flame. However, Ayanna Moore hit an impressive 7 triples in this contest, a big factor why Liberty falls 71-45, wrapping up a season with a remarkable 28-5 record.
All right, let's turn to the Diamond now. Liberty Baseball began the week ranked 15th in the nation, the 5th straight week that the Flames have been in the top 25. In their midweek matchup, they would face Wake Forest, a team just outside the rankings and one that features one of the better offenses in the country. Speaking of offense, the Flames would provide some in the early innings thanks to the long ball. Derek Orndorff breaking out of a mini slump in the second inning with his team-leading 11th home run of the year. Then we jump to the third, and it's Logan Matthew. That's his first of the season, a solo shot to left, showing off that power the other way. But Liberty not alone in providing power on this night. Wake Forest banged out 16 hits, including 3 home runs, as they outslugged the Flames to the tune of a 13-6 final score. With the loss, Liberty falls to 14-5 on the season. It's just the second time the Flames have lost at home this year.
Let's stay on the diamond and stick with that ACC opponent theme. Liberty came out swinging against UVA, literally. LU put up 3 runs in the first, but to the second, Lou Allen joins in on the fun with a shot down the left field line. That scores Devin Howard, good for an Allen RBI double, and it's 4-0 Liberty. Let's head to the 4th. Howard contributing this time with a sac fly to right. That brings home Rachel Root for a 5-0 Liberty lead. Virginia did put up 1 on the board in the 4th, but Liberty got it back in the 7th. Danae Griffin singles to left. That plates Caroline Hudson. And folks, that's all she wrote. Final score 6-1. Liberty returns to ASUN play with a 3-game series at home against North Alabama. While the bats were going at UVA, Liberty softball finds a lot of their success in the circle. Emily Kirby is a big reason why she emerged as a Lady Flames ace last season after a dominant 2021 campaign. But while she puts up impressive numbers while sitting down her opponents, her true worth in this program means so much more than what Kirby does in the circle.
I'll get the ball back from Huddy, and I'll walk to the back of the circle, and I'm always looking to the right. That's my focal point. So when I'm turning around, looking down at my feet, lick my fingers always, rub it off. I'll walk up to the mound, set my feet up, and I don't look up at Huddy until I'm ready. And then I'll look up at her, get the sign, take a breath, grab it, and go.
Emily Kirby is the reigning ASUN Pitcher of the Year. But she didn't arrive on Liberty Mountain as a dominant slinger in the circle. She was a vastly different person and athlete as a freshman.
Young and immature. I wanted to say that, I was hot stuff coming out of high school, but I kind of, once I committed to Liberty, I kind of just leveled out and didn't keep pushing myself. And then I got here and was like, oh, I'm nothing.
She came into an LU program that already had 2 established pitchers, both of whom could have easily focused on themselves, but instead welcomed Kirby into the Liberty program with open arms.
Jules and Chase, they welcomed me in right away. They poured into me, even outside of softball. We would hang out all the time. We were close. We weren't just teammates. We were like sisters. Being that close off the field, it gave you a sense of family and a sense of being when you're here on the field, and when things get tough, you know that they got your back.
With the bullpen being a safe haven, it allowed Emily not to be afraid of failure and to really dig in with Flames pitching coach Paige Cassidy.
We didn't really know what was going to work, what was going to get strikeouts. Was it going to be drop or rise? Most pitchers can only throw one, up or down. They can't throw both. She could throw both. So that made it even more difficult, and you need innings to do that. You need live hitters to tell you, okay, data on paper, where are we getting people out? And Rise was it.
After years of hard work, it would all come together in 2021.
That's a swing, that's a strikeout. So Emily Kirby continues to win the battles. That is her 4th K of the game.
Kirby would be named ASUN Pitcher of the Year, leading the Flames with 12 complete games and 145 strikeouts. Despite her success, Emily never took time to think about it during the season.
I wouldn't think about it at all. I was just thinking, throw your stuff. It's working, just throw it. That thought oh, I'm good, that did not come into my head.
She shocked me. She shocked me in the best way possible, because I didn't know it. And we have it, and I didn't know that we had it until 2021, and then it was every game, I was like, wow, we're good. Okay, the next game, wow, she's really good. The next game, wow, she's really, really good.
I always knew that there was something there and that I'm good enough, but I wasn't breaking through it. I wasn't breaking through the ice, and I think having the mentality of who cares? Just going for it, no pressure at all. That's kind of what I guess pushed me to that, to the limits.
And she pushed it to the limits in what would be the highest point of her year, shutting out the SEC's Arkansas, a team known as a power-hitting machine.
So she is somebody who is better the longer she goes.
So that's really the key with the Arkansas game. It was like inning 1 to inning 10. It was every inning she knew she had them. Every rise ball she threw, they were attacking it. And it was like, okay, if you're gonna try and hit my best stuff, then she gets really good at moving the ball. And then she will make you miss because you will think that you can hit her, but she knows that she has you. It's like checkmate, right? If you're gonna swing at rise, I'm gonna keep throwing it till you prove you can hit it.
While Kirby was a huge part of the Flames making it to the NCAA regionals, for Coach Cassidy, that doesn't even touch the surface of what Emily means to the Liberty program.
I don't ever think about what they're gonna do. I just want to, I just wanted it for her. You know, I wanted Emily to see what I saw. I wouldn't change anything. If I could go back in time and want to absolutely dominate my freshman year, I don't think I'd change it because I wouldn't be where I am now. What's so special about her is not her worth to us as ASUN Pitcher of the Year. It's her worth in our culture and the example that she sets to everyone that you can be anything you want to be if you put the work in when no one's watching and when no one cares or when people don't think you're capable. As long as you know that you are and you work at it, you can be anything.
All right, if you don't believe that these Liberty athletic programs are like family after watching pitching coach Paige Cassidy start crying in the middle of her interview, then we don't know what else to tell you.
Well, I love that Emily, you know, so many times it's going into college, you know, an athlete thinks like, I'm going to show up, I'm going to be a star from the beginning. She realized I was not very good, and she realizes how hard she had to work to get to this point. And it's a great lesson for so many others as well, that like, even if it's tough in the beginning, if you put in the work, the rewards will come.
That's right. So you young softball players, take note on that. All right, coming up, we hit the road with lacrosse, and one Liberty program grabs a natty.
Plus, Rhett joins us for this week's Warm, Hot, and Fuego. That's all when Flame Central returns.
Teachers, your goal in the classroom is to help your students succeed. At Liberty University, it's ours too. That's why you can earn your Bachelor's of Education, Master's of Education, or Master's in Teaching without leaving home, for one of the lowest tuition rates in the nation. Study conveniently and affordably so you can help your students succeed. And together, we'll inspire excellence. From our classroom to yours.
welcome back to the show. Despite raging gas prices, Liberty Lacrosse was on the road for the last week and a half. After splitting their first 2 games in California, as one would, they made a quick stop in Cincinnati, Ohio to complete their road trip. Lady Flames taking on the Bearcats. It was a back-and-forth affair early on, but would be all knotted up at 11 apiece heading into the fourth quarter. That's when the girls took it up a notch. 5 goals in the fourth would get the job done. LU wins at 16-12, a team-high 4 goals from Jordan Baerga, as the win improves the Lady Flames record to 5-4 on the season.
To the ice, baby. The Lady Flames looking to win their 4th straight ACHA D1 national title, taking on Midland. First period, Bree Fussy with the steal, and the backhanded pass to Haley Battles, who puts it away for a 1-0 Liberty lead. Okay, to the final seconds of a power play for LU. And it's Yannick Truder in front of the net, puts that one on the top shelf. You know where mommy hides the cookie jar. Liberty wins it 5-1. That's an ACHA record. 40 straight victories plus 4 consecutive national titles. What more could you want, Rhett and Matt?
I got to tell you, Rhett, your job might be in danger.
I know,
she is calling that hockey pretty good there, huh?
Solid. Dropping out the mommy keeps the cookie jar. I like it.
It could be. It's a little rough, but she'll get it. Yeah, that's pretty impressive nonetheless. All right. Hey, warm, hot, and fuego. Rhett joins us as always. Top player moment from the past week in Liberty Athletics. What are we looking at here today, Rhett?
Well, you know, something very close to you and I's heart is that it was National Philly Cheesesteak Day. I went cheesecake in my head. Cheesesteak Day.
Either way, I'm cool with it.
You're good with that. But I know you and I have like an affinity for cheesesteaks.
I once went on a Philly cheesesteak tour throughout the city of Philadelphia. It was fantastic.
That was huge. Now, are you going with a hard bun or the soft bun? Do you like the crusty bread with the softness inside?
I'm not too picky.
Okay.
Yeah, either whatever's available.
Well, whatever you like at home. But hey, Warm, let's start off with the athletes here. Felix Lawrence, this is a young man on the track team. ASUN Track Athlete of the Week. First time he has those honors. Won both events at the Virginia Open. In the 110 hurdles, personal best, a 14:21. That's number 3 in LU history. Good for him. In the 400 hurdles, a 54:18. This is a guy that's doing some of his best running here as of late, and he looks to continue a strong start here in outdoor season.
Boy, Liberty Track and Field, just such a dominant program. Great to see them already having success here in the outdoor season. All right, from warm, we go to hot.
All right, you were just talking about lacrosse, right? They had a beauty goal in this game. It was Jordan Shive. Let's take a look at it here. Late stages, she keeps some of the best for last. Look at this. Behind the back, the little scoop. Like sometimes you see them go around the neck. Not the case for Jordan. Time was winding down. This is just insult to injury at this stage. The little bouncer along with it, no look. That was a thing of beauty. They were trying to get it on top 10 for SportsCenter. Didn't quite happen.
It made warm, hot, and fuego, right?
It did, yeah. That's all you really need. But again, one thing you have to love about lacrosse is the creativity. And she shows it off right there. You're not looking, typically you're trying to go top shelf. Little bouncer, loved it. It was a beautiful goal.
Kelly Nagle's got the girls playing well right now. All right, finally in fuego, your pick for the highest honor of the week.
Yeah, we go to softball. Freshman here, Rachel Roop. This young lady has been swinging a hot bat.
You've been talking her up for a little while.
I have. I know that she was going to break out sooner or later, and when she went into that series against Eastern Kentucky, first off, she starts it off with some great defense. Great range in the outfield, sliding catch. Then she says, hey, why not? I'm going to knock a grand slam. That was just a bomb in that day. In that game, she had 6 RBI. Yeah, she was just absolutely rolling. Yeah, freshman.
Wow.
Right fielder, young talent. What was I saying early on? This is a team that's going to take a little while to get going. When they find their bats, they would come around. She would have 2 home runs in that weekend series. I think she would total in 2 games 8 RBI. She was swinging a hot stick. It continues to be the case. And Rachel Roop, I'm telling you, when she graduates from here in 4 years, she's going to be in the tops of multiple Liberty categories. I don't know if number 1, but like top 10 multiple categories. Rachel Roop is going to have a fantastic Liberty career, mark my words.
No one projects long-term better than Rhett McGibbon.
That's right.
He sees something, he latches onto it, so count on it. Rhett, great job as always, and great for Liberty softball. They're playing well in conference right now. All right, still to come, we relive a top moment from the past 50 years of Liberty athletics, and one LU student earns himself a checkered flag.
Right.
Who could that be? That's all when Flame Central returns.
So, you want to make a difference? The internet is more than a place to connect. It's a building block of our society, and it's vulnerable to attack. But you can keep it safe. At Liberty University, choose from 6 cybersecurity degrees, available 100% online, and become a digital defender with an education you and your future employer can trust. Join the front lines of an in-demand field and protect our place to connect.
Liberty University School of Law has risen to recognition by holding a top 10 spot in American Bar Association competitions for 3 consecutive years and placed 3rd in the nation in 2019. Our graduates achieved a 92% overall bar pass rate among first-time takers in 2019 and a 94% employment rate for the class of 2019. Prepare to make a difference at Liberty University School of Law.
Welcome back to the show. Since August, we've been taking you down memory lane each week with some of the top moments from the past 50 years of Liberty athletics.
And don't worry, we're not done yet. This week's moment comes to us courtesy of Liberty softball.
April 28, 2021. Liberty softball hosting 18th ranked Virginia Tech. The home run ball would rule this night, with Tech hitting 2 of them to take a 3-0 lead into the bottom of the 7th. Then it was the Flames' turn, specifically catcher Caroline Hudson. With 2 runners on, she would launch one over the left field wall to send the game to extras. Then, with Madison Vi on first in the bottom of the 9th, guess who came to the plate?
2-1 the count to Hudson. She drives another one. Can it be? It is! Walk-off home run, Caroline Hudson!
Hudson's long ball heroics would extend Liberty's win streak to 13 games and give head coach Dot Richardson her 250th career victory.
Great moment.
Yeah,
Great game call from our Rhett McGiven,
right.
the voice of the Lady Flames. All right, I'll never forget this, man. I'm walking into work one day, and there's a race car in the middle of the hallway. I'm like, what is going on here?
Turns out she was in the wrong building. No, it was actually a photo shoot and an interview with Liberty student / NASCAR driver William Byron. And guess what? He was back in the spotlight this past weekend. Byron earned his 3rd career Cup victory last weekend at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and he did it in the Liberty car. Woo. There were 46 lead changes in the race, but you know what they say, the only lead that matters is who's leading at the finish line, and that was Byron. He got the job done. Congrats to him, a great representative for Liberty University. All right, hey, we're out of time. As always, libertyflamecentral.com, and check out the podcast. She's Emily, I'm Matt. We'll see you later.